Hi, this is John Davidson. I appreciate the opportunity to speak with you today. I think the topic should really be about operating at your highest levels. I am the founder of High Level Performance, and I'm often asked, what are the standards of high level performance? What does it mean to become a high level performer? And I use a term I call executing brilliance lately. And it's something that a client taught me because I caught a glimpse of when he was executing brilliance. And it really had to do with 4 components. And you'll resonate with these because you do these now, but we're going to look at ways to lift them, to improve them. And so here they are. It is your AM ritual, so what you do in the morning before you start your business day. Then you have your during your day activities. And then you have your end of day, kind of closing out your end of day ritual. And then you have your PM ritual. And so if you think of your day, 24 hours, in 4 parts or 4 dimensions, these concurrently flow in an interlocking way such that at the end of the day, at the end of the line, when you look at the aggregate amount of result that is capable of accomplishing, that is possible to tap into, you get an enormous lift, an enormous leverage by thinking carefully, being strategic about these 4 things. Now, there are 4 ways that we spend our time. We can be reactive about things and respond to what happens to us, like a mouse in the maze. We can occupy a to-do list, which is to make a list of things that we want to knock out or eliminate. We can be strategic about looking at the planning horizons of the future, making action plans about what needs to be done, and then setting up daily decisions to orient our actions to our intentions. We can be intentional. And 4 is unscheduled time, unplanned time, what we might call free time. So think about how much of your day is this. How much reaction time do you have? The average executive makes most of their production from 1 out of 7 hours per day. That's pathetic. 1 out of 7 hours is equal to the 80 to 90% of the result that they get out of that day. What are they doing for the other 6 hours? It really makes me think. And so I have been studying this. How does that happen? How does it inadvertently happen? How does it happen where an individual comes up, periscope depth, end of the day, and they go, I'm not sure where things really went. I was just reacting, responding to a multitude of things, answering emails, handling phone calls. Yeah, but did you have a set of goals? Yeah, I did, but I didn't really get on it. I didn't follow it. I just veered off. Well, what does that do? I mean, you get to a place where you're in 90 days ahead or you're a year ahead, and you look back, and I often say to myself, what could I have done better? Were there things that I could have done differently during those moments of opportunity to put myself onto creating what it is that's important? Stephen Covey says, companies that thrive, 20% of their employees' day is goal-centric. 20%? I mean, I don't know about you, but I don't want 20% of my day being goal-centric. I want 80% of my day being goal-centric. I want to spend more of my time on strategic things that matter, and also spend my time on things that are relaxed, stress-free, rejuvenating, enjoying life, living my life. The purpose of life is to live it. So the less reactionary work I do and the less to-do lists I knock out, the more productive I am with my time. The more efficient I am with my time. And so it really makes you think, doesn't it? What am I really doing? So let's examine this. Let's kind of swoop in close. And let's think about what your AM ritual is. Like, what gets you out of bed in the morning? Why are you getting out of bed in the morning? What's the first thing that you do? Do you have a design? Do you have a plan? Do you have a set of rituals or disciplines that you get up for? Maybe you meditate in the morning. Maybe you have 3 things that you feel grateful for and you write them down. Maybe you mentally rehearse your day and you think through what's important. Or maybe you visualize the faces of the people that you're going to meet. Maybe you visualize their reactions to you. Or maybe it's about just going all the way through the day and getting to the finish, seeing yourself at the finish line, looking it over. All that. Maybe it's also about your physical movement. Maybe it's about how much oxygen you're getting in the morning. Maybe it's about your exercise. Are you moving around? Maybe it's about your nutrition. What are you putting in your body? How are you supporting your brain function? I mean, there are foods that help your brain function a lot better. So you have your cognitive piece in the morning, your physical elements to attend to. What about emotion? What about your heart? You know, our hearts are a really key place of perception during the day, our compassion, our kindness, our generosity. In fact, it's our hearts that help us be present, to show up to the originality of our experience, to be able to offer legitimacy and acceptance to people that are different, to be coherent and convivial and friendly, and to harmonize with negativity. We all face these tides of life. It's required, if we're going to get through it, to perceive and operate from our hearts, not just our heads. Or maybe we have to take away our judgment and then just go with the day with fresh outlooks, without having expectations, without having rules, but to participate like a pilgrim in the wilderness. So I'd like to share with you my morning ritual. I get up at 4 a.m. I have a 4-part meditation that I do. The first part is a progressive relaxation. I just ask every part of my body, from the toes to my head, to relax, release, and let go. In fact, I visualize all of those body parts, and I talk with them. I'm a weirdo, but it works. I've been doing that since I was 13 years old. And I breathe deeply. And when I breathe in, I hold for 6 seconds. And then when I'm holding after that in-breath, I'm actually holding for 24 seconds. And then when I exhale, I think of 12. So I do 6 on the in-breath, 24 on the hold, and 12 on the exhale. And I breathe from my diaphragm, my tongue at the top of my palate. I do this lying down, and I can do it for 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Sometimes I'll do it for an hour. The next step is I go to what I call statue stillness, which is to be as absolutely still as I possibly can, and just focusing on my breathing and being as still as possible. And there's a really interesting feeling, a sensation that I get by being so still, ready for anything and expecting nothing. And then I go into some faster breathing, where I breathe in and out 30 times. In, out, in, out, in, out, without any holds. And then after those 30, I hold for 30 seconds or 1 minute. And then I breathe in and hold for 15, and then breathe out, and I repeat that sequence 3 times. And then from there, I do 15 minutes of body movement, either Tai Chi or Qigong, and then physical exercise, the traditional push-ups, sit-ups, lunges, those sorts of things, running in place, to just get my heart pumping and to get my O2 and my brain going. Why do I do this? I do this because I have an inner sketch of the kind of the ground of being that I want to have. And this really settles me and puts me in the right space. It's like, I guess, defragging my software, giving me the best running system that I possibly can. But the most important thing is the breathing, is getting the right amount of oxygen in my brain. And the other part is, I think about the people that I serve and the family that I love and care about and the clients that I serve. And the only thought I have is to be the best version of me that I can possibly be, because they depend on me for that. And I'm willing to give them that, because that matters to me. And so why do I get up in the morning? Sure, I negotiate with myself. 4 o'clock, are you kidding? You don't think I'm saying to me, come on, JD, get back to bed? No, I get up. I get up and I go because I have a place to go. I know what matters to me, and I'm serving that outcome. I'm not focusing on the internal rewards. I'm not focusing on my feelings. It's not about my mood. It's not about whether I'm on a good day or bad day. The show goes on. Get up and focus your habits. Now, I'm not saying that's the way, but that's the first hour that I spend every single day. That is where you will find me from 4 a.m. to 5 a.m., unless an act of God is taking it away. But that's what I'm doing, and I'm intentional about it. In fact, I'm obsessed about it. I don't break up with that. I don't fall off on that, and that's something that I do naturally now, and I don't need to do it consciously. It kind of unconsciously happens. I know exactly what to do, where to be. Pick a consistent time that you want to go to bed, and pick a consistent time when you want to get up. Your brain will follow those instructions. Those are key decisions that you can make. Make them. Do you need the right amount of sleep? 8 hours, 9 hours? No, it's about you. I sleep 6 hours a night. That's right for me. And I'm a migraine sufferer. If I sleep 8 or 9, I get migraines. But if I sleep 6, it's a sweet spot. And then I use the 1 hour meditation process and the body movement and so forth, those 4 things, to do that. And so it works for me. And then from there, getting up and then eating brain function foods, blueberries, flavonoids. Keep the fiber, keep the skin on the apple. Don't do juices. 2 eggs. And then go for some apple cider vinegar and maybe some turmeric. And if you want to know more about those, look those up. Look them up online and see the benefits of those. There's so many. So I drink fire water. I like lemon and honey and a little bit of turmeric, a little bit of apple cider vinegar, and then I chug that down in a large glass of water. And then from there, eat those 2 eggs, grab maybe a half of avocado, grab a handful of blueberries, and go. And it's a great way to get out the door. Now, some individuals like to get up and just start working. You can do that. Maybe you want to knock out your to-do stuff. Look at your emails, clean it up, answer that stuff. Anything that you've been behind on, log jams, check your project list. Great stuff. So once I get to work, then it's about planning the day. And what I often use is the Daily 6, and I recommend clients use it every day, is I identify the 6 things that are most important today for me to accomplish. And that combines personal and professional. So I'm looking at different places, different visual cues to find my way into assembling that list. So I'll look at my project list. I'll look at a list of items I'm waiting on my team for. I'll look at other things that maybe I've been writing down, taking notes on. So I assemble a master list. I do an inbox analysis. I look at my email, and I assemble 6 things that are the most important to do every single day. And I highly recommend you do this. You will have 20 things, 25 things. Do not suck it up. You will not get to it all. Don't think that way. Trying to overpower yourself, overclock your hard drive, trying to get to it all is just, I think of it like an act of violence on oneself. It's like putting your face in a boxing glove. You could work your business 24 hours. You could work it all week long and never stop. There will never be enough. You will never get to a place where you say, oh, okay, I got everything checked off the list. It's complete. That's not the game. The game is about doing the significant few things that really matter, not the trivial manys. And as you do those, you have to make very good selections. And as you do that, you're going to deselect other things that you're not going to do. So the other key list during the day is the not-to-do list, is I'm constantly putting tasks into a funnel that asks me, can I eliminate it, can I delegate it, or can I automate it? If I can't, then I ask myself, can I do it in 2 minutes? Yes, then do it. Or if I'm going to do it later, I'm going to procrastinate on purpose, but I'm going to time activate it in the calendar. So you go to Outlook, maybe above your 5-day work week, you find that space above the 12 midnight. You go above there, you click on it, and you write in stuff that you need to accomplish by sundown. Anything that comes on your desk or comes into your inbox that day, write it there, look at it, because at the end of the day, you're going to want to clear that out. The other thing I do is start a fire file. Is I have a red folder, and any paperwork that lands on my desk that needs to get out, I put it in the fire file. Anything from previous days that's in my tickler file, I don't like paperwork lying around. I'm allergic to paperwork. I don't like it. It creates weight. My office looks like my head. So I have a fire file, and what I do is fire everything on that file. It's a red file so I can see it among everything else, and that file will be blank at the end of the day. There will be nothing in it, so that I know that everything had to move. Either I made decisions on that paper to defer it or delay it to somewhere else, or I delegated it and moved it on, or I activated it myself, or I put it in the trash. TRAF. TRAF is in Frank. TRAF. Trash, relay, action file. Trash, relay, action file. Trash, relay, action file. Trash, relay, action file. It's a nice idea to touch something once. Probably never will happen, but it does get you close to it. So you can make those decisions with a fire file. I also have a 30-day tickler file underneath my desk for any paperwork I can put on designated days to say, okay, the 27th of this month, put it in file 27. On the 28th, put it in file 28 so I can move things along and make decisions. On emails, When you're getting emails coming in, schedule 2 times a day when you're answering email. You will have a deluge of emails that come in. You'll be flooded in the morning. If you start your day in emails, you're gone. The first 90 minutes in the day is your ultradian rhythm. This is your prime time. This is when your best energy is going to be best used. So think about what you're doing in those first 90 minutes. And this is really where the daily 6 comes in, is I identify the 6 things I'm going to do, and then I time each one. I say, okay, I'm going to spend 15 on this, 30 on this. You need to make up your mind about that. The supply will always rise to the demand. So if you don't have any limits, if you don't have any time dimensions, what will happen is anything will rush to fill it. And it'll push those timelines. You'll start an email and you just can't stop, and you'll keep going. And you know, the dopamine we get by handling things, not falling behind, a little bit of fear of missing out, FOMO, you know, it can be really, really nice for your brain. But don't fall into that pattern. Do not start your day with email. You can start your day with your daily 6. Pick a time that you have on each item. Then add it up. If it's more than 6 hours, then break it down. Make something available the following day. So don't overwhelm yourself. Make 6 hours or less the daily 6 items, and then leave another 2 hours for serendipity time. Things that are unscheduled. You know, things that come in that are going to happen happenstance serendipitously that you don't expect, so that you're flexible enough, but you're also intentional. Now, these six can be projects, they can be tasks, they can be activities, but make sure that they are organized around your 90-day objectives. Think about where you want to be in 90 days. What are your key objectives? Take the areas or buckets that really matter to you. Your relationship, your health, your business, your finance, fun, leisure. Make all the key impact areas. Identify 3 objectives in each, and then look at what the next steps are in those 3 objectives. As you look at those on your business, you're going to make it easy on yourself to say, what is it that's going to appear in my daily 6 that's going to link me to that? I got a line of sight. So what am I going to do? This is about being intentional. So the idea is it gives you a way to set boundaries and say, I've got 6 things I'm going to do. Now, once you add it up, then what you're going to do is start with the most reluctant item first. Why? Because that first 90 minutes in the day, you've got that rhythm, that morning burst. You don't have to apply as much discipline and energy. You've got more enthusiasm, more gusto. In the afternoon, you can coast. But make it a point to get the first 3 done by 12 noon. You have a sense of accomplishment. 3 out of 6 is probably almost 100%. And then the other items, well, they're great things to accomplish. Now, as you go along throughout the day, you're going to get all sorts of ambushes. You're going to get sabotaged. You're going to get outlawed and sidetracked by a bunch of distractions. Write down the 5 biggest time burglars that always come up for you, and then write down a counter underneath each one. What are you going to do? Be proactive and prevent. What are your escape routes? What do you tend to do when you get distracted? You have all these external distractions. So maybe you go like web surf, or maybe you go and like go eat junk in the refrigerator, or maybe you go watch TV and you shouldn't be, or you do things that waste your time in reaction to how you feel. But instead, you don't need to give in to your impulses. Stay focused on your daily 6. Why not build a couple of off times in your day, OFF? And that gives you a deliberate way to do the things that you would normally waste. But make it intentional. You've got 2 off times to just do whatever you want. Mix it up. That way you can be a human being, you can check your phone, you can do the things you normally want to do on your own agenda. Make those off times in your calendar. Schedule all of your return calls. Schedule all of your emails. I usually return email at 12 noon and 4 o'clock. And on return calls, I have 1 period a day when I do all of it, because I have to have some level of control. And if you have any internal distractions, set up a daily got-a-minute meeting for any of your staff so that when they have got-a-minutes and they need to ask you, hey, boss, you got a minute? You have 30 minutes, you're wide open, you're available, you're not halfway in your attention, and they'll only bring you the big stuff because you don't talk about stuff unless you're in meetings. They're going to solve problems on their own. That's about treating them like adults. You don't want to be a got-a-minute manager where people are putting the monkey on your back all the time. What you're doing is reducing them, and you're disempowering them, instead of figuring out problems and working through those challenges. Solving puzzles is the best way to really evaluate your team, is give them a chance to work through challenges. So I always say, don't come to a God-a-minute meeting until you've tried 3 solutions. If you haven't tried 3 solutions, you're not eligible to come in here. If you have, let's talk about what you tried. I'm not going to give you the answer, but by the time you leave, I want you to tell me what you're going to do. I want you to evaluate what worked, what didn't, and then propose an experiment. And then I'm going to give you the gift of making mistakes. So you're not there to hook them into you being this patriarchal hero where you have all the answers. You're there to help them go out and go at the problems and solve them by taking ownership and letting them, well, struggle. You're not the caretaker. You're not the lifeguard. If you think you are, you're pushing them in the pool. And then they're going to ask you for a rescue. Don't do it. You're just creating your own limitations. You're loading work onto yourself to affirm your own importance. Don't do it. You don't need to be the hero. You're there to be the host. You're there to be the convening leader. You're there to set the setting for them to take on their own challenges. So let them go and see. Send them out there. When they come in and ask for help, help isn't having answers for them. Help is helping them understand what they're doing, helping them understand what they see, how they're processing the information from their activities, what they're going to use the information for. Sure, you might offer a couple suggestions if you tried X or Y, but really it's about them going out and then coming back to you and talking to you about what happened and how they're going to use that to get better and better at what they do. And being better and better, you'll know that by how you spend your time at home. Once you leave work and you go home, or you're on your weekends, or you're on your free days, you'll know what kind of team you have. You'll know exactly how this works. By having God-a-minute meetings, you'll see the difference, because you'll have a more equipped team, and you'll be having less screen time on your free time, and you'll also be less worried about the staff keeping up with the challenges. So during the day, you've got these momentary decisions you're making, and I'd like you to ask 4 questions like an impact filter. Number 1, anything you're touching, ask yourself, is this my personal gift? Is this my domain of self-efficacy? Why not make a choice to spend 70% of your time on your strengths? Why not just get there? Why not just make up your mind that you're going to spend 70% of your time on your strengths? Now, some people say, well, how do I do that? That's exactly right. You do that by who? By having people around you that you hire, delegate, outsource, part-time hire, because you only should be doing the things that you can do. Everybody else has something they're superior at doing. If you're not understanding their gifts or their superior skill sets, you're limited. You can't manage your time accordingly if you don't know the strengths of your support system. Hire people that you admire. Hire people that are better than you. Don't hire minions that are just like you. Hire them to suit your organization. Hire them to be the best in the world at what they do. Hire them with enthusiasm, batteries included. They love what the position description is. They love the fact that they're working for someone like you. They think it's a career move. These things make the quality of hire go up. That being said, your autonomy, their autonomy, is dependent on their competency. How do you raise their competency? You help them by challenging them into dilemmas and challenges and puzzles that you send them out to solve and bring back the learning. That's right. That's how you get yourself in a position of autonomy, of being liberated, is you liberate your team by challenging them to go at it with everything they've got, apply their gifts, put them in the roles to do so, and let them fly. Give them roots, give them wings, right? You're there to give them the context. You're there to provide them the purpose of the task. You're there to assign them the challenge, but you're not there to be the rescuer. You're the challenger. You're the coach. You're not the hero. You're not the villain, and they're not the victim, right? They are co-creators. They are not reactors. They are not heroes. They are co-creators with you. You invite them. You don't dictate the work. You invite them. You invite them into great things. You see the possibilities in them, and you send them on their way. And by giving them that autonomy, it shows them that you trust them. And when you do, they do great work. What you see is what you get. How you treat someone is how you see them, and how you treat them is who they become. Remember this. Now, you're working through your day. So you're going into these impact filter moments. Is this my personal gift? Yes or no? Am I doing this out of fear? Yes or no? Am I touching this because it supports my 1-year goal? Will touching this get me to my 1-year goal? Yes or no? If I chose 6 things to do today, is this one of them? Yes or no? Think about this. Be conscientious. What are you touching today? Take a time audit. Be your own bouncer. Where are you investing your time? Are you getting a 1, 2, or 3 out of your time investments? Are you reactive into doing? Or are you more strategic? Or using the opportunity time that you have? What are you doing? Are you preparing well for your meetings and organizing your time like that? Or are you just showing up scattered and scrambled eggs, winging it because you're overconfident and you have too much success? How are you playing it? Are you monitoring the value of your time? I would be very interested if you're not, because if you don't care about that, then you don't care about getting better and you don't care about the outcomes that you're creating, so rethink your vision. If you really care about your vision, you'll be very conscientious about how you're spending your time, believe you me. And if you're aware that you are not immortal and you believe in the brevity of life, you know that it's there. Life is short. Then why spend your time on minor things when you can major in major things? Spend your time on the boulders, not the sand pebbles, not even the rocks. You've got to pick the essentials. And what you're going to be picking are the activities that multiply your time. You don't manage your time, you multiply your time. Because that's how you economize what you do. That's how you scale and leverage exponentially your investments of time and money, is that you think about what you can automate, delegate, or eliminate. Automate, delegate, or eliminate. Automate, delegate, or eliminate. See, and the fact is, the more that you get off your plate those things to other people that are brilliant at doing those things, the more decisions you'll make, and the more tempo you'll have, and the more momentum you'll have, and the more productive you'll feel, and the more you'll get done in a day, and you'll move your goals into being with greater speed and impact. So more is less. It's addition by subtraction. So if you get good at everything, and everything depends on you for that, and you get excellent at all these things, you're trapped in your own excellence. No. Be careful. You want to be really good at what you're enthusiastic about. That's where you want to focus your attention. But if you're getting really good at where you have no enthusiasm, but all you have is excellence, imagine the world depending on you, paying you for the thing that you are best in the world at doing, but you don't have any enthusiasm for. Oh my gosh. Then you got your kids in the best schools. Then you got a big roof over your head. Ooh, boy, soul loss. So let's be careful. So you've got these kind of surveillance methods during the day. Now, let's say you get off track. Let's say that the day starts to go the other way. Some big problem, some big snowball comes up. I realize inevitably you have to make a substitution. So you pivot and you make the following day, you go and pick it up the following day. You don't sit and just force it and just wrangle with, I can't, no way. You've got to have some mindset flexibility, and you do have another day to repivot yourself, and you may have to do that, is that you just simply pivot to the following day and then pick it up there and handle the issue. I mean, I realize there are emergencies you have to stop everything and do, but make sure it's a real emergency, okay? Be honest with yourself. Now, and also if you make these decisions, think about it later. If you made the decision to stop everything and do this, how are you going to feel in a week? How are you going to feel in a month? How are you going to feel in a year? Okay. So let's say you're getting through the day. You've occupied your return calls. You've handled your return emails. You've set up your email in such a way where you can swiftly get through it. I'll talk about that on another audio. It's too tactical, but we do have systems in the coaching for doing so, and we can help people handle enormous volumes of email in far less time. Now, that being said, as you move through the day, you've got this end-of-day moment with yourself. So what are you going to do in that first 10 minutes? Probably around 4 or 5 o'clock, you're going to start cleaning things up. You're going to start looking at your inbox. You're going to make another list, and you're going to make that third list. Right? The first is your daily 6. The second is your not-to-do list that you're going to delegate, automate, and you're going to eliminate as you're making those decisions. And today, you're going to say, what did I accomplish? This is very important that you consolidate your gains and reflect. What did you get done? What did you accomplish? What's still left to be done? So you look at your inbox. You look at any flags, things that you were doing along the way to get here. Handle it. Any end-of-day sundowner tasks. Handle it. Any fire files, handle it. Close it out. And then think about the following day. How do you need to set yourself up? What are you doing tomorrow morning? What's the first thing you're going to do to hit the ground running? Set yourself up. Now, some of these decisions you're making, you're going to need to make amends. You're going to need to triage your commitments and calendar because, again, you can't fit it all together. So you have to negotiate your commitments, say hello and goodbye to distractions. You may need to get with someone and under-promise and over-deliver. Reset the timeline, reschedule it out. Or maybe you handle a particular task or project by creating a project schedule, massaging it in. Or maybe you do something in 2 minutes because you can just knock it out right there. Or maybe you make a big decision and you say, I'm going to eliminate this. I'm just not going to do it. And I'm going to let go of guilt. So you can dump it, do it, delegate it, or delay it. You've got those options, dump, do, delegate, or delay. And as you do, you're going to lift that weight off your mind because you're moving along making those decisions. Don't wait. Don't postpone those decisions. You've got to make up your mind and do so. Following day, you're going to start with that daily 6. But before you do, and that morning ritual, tonight, you've got your PM ritual. So what are you doing in the PM? I recommend that you stay on your feet. Play a game. Do something with your kids. Do something active. Don't sit. Because you sit and you get mushy. You sit and you get dull. Move around. Right? Pick what you're going to do those evenings. If you're going to do a date night, get active. But do something different. Mix it up. Stop watching the screens. Stop the junk and the entertainment. The greatest distraction is television. It is like training in attention deficit disorder. If you're watching TV in your bedroom, take it out. Please do it. Don't watch TV an hour before bedtime. It's like putting your mind into a gear that your body needs sleep. It's got to take out the trash. It needs to renew itself. You're watching television is like an outlaw. It just sabotages that process. Why get in your way? Spend the last hour writing down your reflections of the day. What inspired you? What was it that astonished you? What challenged you beyond the familiar? What touched you? What moved you? Be present to the originality of your experience. Life gave you gifts today. Life was a teacher today. Things happened. There are experiences to integrate. So take 30 minutes, take 15 minutes, sit quietly, write down some reflections, or write an intention for tomorrow. Write it in present tense as if it's happening, or write it in past tense. Soothe yourself. Take a hot shower. Take a nice bath. Soothe yourself physically. Give yourself a reward like that for a mission accomplished. But let go of your screen time. Put your phone down. Focus on humanity. Put a puzzle table together in your house. Reconvene your family in doing that. Do something fun in the backyard. Make a backyard project or paradise, or do a home project. Think about puzzles you can do together or more games. Or maybe you learn chess or something new. Or you make a family video together and have fun. Mix it up. Learn something new. Learn to cook. Learn a new language. Listen to an app that makes you clear on that language, right? Get involved in activities beyond the familiar. Creating something new always gives you more energy. So put some thought into your finish, your PM ritual. Go to bed at the same time every night. See, so what happens is you start doing this, right? You start doing your PM ritual, and then your morning ritual gets even better because you have this little helper upstream that's helping something downstream. And then the morning ritual helps you make great decisions during the day in your daily activities, removing distractions, staying on purpose, being intentional. And then you do your end-of-day review, and you're even more sharp. You still have energy left over because you have oxygen in you. And then you clean everything up and get ready for the following day. And then that evening, you've got these activities to look forward to. So what you're doing is managing your energy. You're not managing your time. You're managing your energy. You're managing yourself cognitively, emotionally, spiritually, and mentally. Your mental energy is your focus. Your spiritual energy is your connection and purpose, your sense of purpose. Your emotional energy is the quality of energy, and your physical energy is your quantity of energy. Those are 4 systems that make you whole. And if you're not deliberate and intentional about these, you're not operating in high-level performance. And why not be the best version of yourself for the world? Because everything starts with relationship. And when you're taking good care of yourself, you're investing, you glow. The world sees something going on with you. They say, what's up with you? There's something bright about you. What are you doing? And you're investing. The greatest investment is to invest in your own habits and to start seeing a plan. See the importance of these 4 components: your AM ritual, your daily activities, your end-of-day ritual, and then your PM ritual. and then concurrently designing a beautiful system and taking that on as a 30-day cleanse. Do that for the next 30 days, or call me. Let's coach on it, and let's get you stunningly orchestrating what this is and aligning your actions with your intentions, but even more, connecting that 3-year future you to this way of being and operating. Your ground of being will change. Your way of being present will change in the moment. You'll feel more relaxed. You'll have a different state of mind and be more flexible as a listener on how you take in information from the world. And you'll also be more productive in your output, being intentional, and keeping alignment between your actions, decisions, and all your communications toward the goal lines that you want to create. People are most pleasurably involved in things that they want to create. When you're focusing on bringing creations that matter to you into the world, I think that's when you're happiest. Happiness is a choice because you can take in anything the way you want at any moment. And the booby prize of creating is happiness. But creating is about bringing creations into the world that matter to you. Why do you get organized? Why have these 4 components? To get better at creating what you want. There's only one reason why to organize your life. Get better at creating what you want. That's a way of life. It's a way of thinking. To create creations in your life that matter to you, and that's it. Make that the centerpiece of your life-building process, creating. And so it starts here. My hope is that you found a tip or two or an idea or an insight from these 4 things today. It's about executing brilliance. Thank you so much for listening. You can find out more at highlevelperformance.com. That's highlevelperformance.com. I'm Coach JD. I'm the head coach and founder of High Level Performance of 22 years now and still going strong. We are an ICU, an intensive creativity unit for entrepreneurs and leaders and business leaders throughout the world who are ready to get better in all the aspects in their life that matter. They're ready to raise their game. They're ready to raise their standards. And they're staging an amazing comeback in so many ways. And they're reinventing themselves. And they're becoming the best version of themselves. And there's nothing more exciting than being a great wingman and a great partner and climbing buddy and secret weapon in their corner, seeing them come into the world and participating at this level. More beyond anything they thought possible, of becoming the kind of person they love being, and the people around them that are so moved by that. I just love when their kids say, "Thank you so much for giving me my dad back," or "Thanks for giving me back my mom," or employees saying, "That's the best boss we could have ever had." I just think that's just the best thing in the world. And that's absolutely why I get up at 4 a.m. in the morning. And that's why I continue to foster these 4 things. Have a great day. See you soon.